Greetings, everyone. Pete Pardo here from Comic Book Geezers. Welcome to another episode of the show, and my co-host here, as always.
Hello, comic book fans. Welcome back to another episode of Comic Book Geezers. I am Wild Bill, your host, alongside with Pete, the founding father of the show. Welcome back to another episode. We're going inside the cover with the Amazing Spider-Man, number 128.
Classic. And let me tell you, one of the coolest covers of all. I remember the first time I bought this, I was like, because we all knew and loved the Vulture. He's one of his classic villains. And this is just an awesome Spidey sticking to the side of the building, Spider Sense going berserk, Shadow of the Vulture, which is actually the title also of the cover here. And then just to see the perfect Vulture Shadow description there. I mean, it's awesome. And then to hear what he says, like, I just put you in prison. Why are you here again? Well, we're going to find out momentarily.
If I get it right.
If you get it right, okay.
Let's see. Alright, so we have Ross Andrew doing the art. We got Jerry Conway writing it.
Yep. We
got F. Fitzgerald and Ed Hunt.
F. Fitzgerald. Frank Giacoia and Dave Hunt.
F.
Fitzgerald.
You like that? Yeah, F. Fitzgerald, man. I would never steer you wrong.
No.
I'm always difficult with these inside the covers. Not my forte. Anyway, we got a typical inside page one splash page of Spider-Man falling to his death.
he's always falling. What's that all about?
Because the Vulture just dropped him off.
He's either getting beat up on the cover or falling on page
and
one.
And as he's falling, he's like, what the hell? I just put this guy in jail.
Yep.
So, obviously, he's got to get his way out of this. But basically what Spidey does...
Please tell me he doesn't run out of web fluid.
No, he winds up having enough to spring a trampoline net.
That's
as you can see down here.
Yeah.
Bottom corner there. Yep. So he's wondering, how the hell did this guy get out of jail? So
it's a mystery.
Yeah, this is one of those murder mystery issues where Spider-Man is more of a detective. So he swings by to see Mary Jane Watson. And apparently she witnessed a murder.
Uh-huh.
And the girl that was murdered had a roommate. It was two girls living together. And Spider-Man, well, Peter Parker.
Just a little break in the action here. Do you ever notice that Ross Andrew always drew Spider-Man's hands like that? He always had this break in the fingers. Yes, I noticed that all the time with
getting ready to spin a web.
I guess.
Or clench a fist.
I don't know. It's just a weird kind of thing. It's this little break in. It's like this Spock thing going on. Very strange. Anyway, sorry.
Good observation.
I noticed
like
it all the
people
time.
notice the Gil Kane with the slanted up.
Yeah, exactly.
Pointed up nose, nostrils.
And Frank Robbins with the appendages
twisted legs. Anatomically incorrect. Yeah. So Spider-Man, Peter Parker, stops to see his good friend Mary Jane Watson because she witnessed this murder. And she doesn't want to talk. She's up here. She's like, he's going to get me. He'll kill me.
Can't tell you.
So you see in the next panel over here, his spider sense is tingling.
Yeah, he knows something's up.
Right?
Tingling on both pages here. Yeah, exactly.
And the Vulture shows up. And he's looking at Peter Parker like he's a meddling interloper. Right? So.
It's like I just put that Adrian Toomes guy in jail.
So Spider-Man, Peter Parker's wondering.
While we're at it, you can order yourself some
8-tracks.
8-tracks.
I used to have 8-tracks. That's weird how they used to break into 4 sections.
I know, right? Just bizarre.
You know what I had on 8-track?
No.
Frank Zappa, Live in New York City.
Oh, it's a great one.
That's my favorite song, Titties and Beer.
It's a great live album. Great live album.
The greatest title for any song, Titties and Beer.
Yep.
Come on back. Yeah, so Peter Parker's wondering why Mary Jane's afraid to talk, but he realizes the Vulture's involved. So he's starting to wonder about this girl that was murdered. And she had a roommate. And apparently they used to change clothes and identities kind of thing because they knew the Vulture was stalking them. So they were trying to throw him off the the trail, so to speak. But Peter Parker, Spider-Man, is deep in investigation.
Let's go get the drunks to help out. The homeless guys.
Gotta get a what do you call them? An informant, right?
They live
So
on
what's
the
the
street.
best way to influence an informant? Yank him up off the ground and threaten to drop him. So he squawks a little bit, right? But still, Peter Parker is trying to figure out what's going on, and he tries to reach the roommate and talk to her, and of course, the Vulture shows up. Or so we think it's the Vulture.
That's right.
Letting the bag out of the cat right now. Could be because the foot's on the other shoe. Okay? You with me? So what happens is this Vulture takes Peter Parker up into the sky and drops him to his death. But as you can see down here, he gets lucky and falls into the water. Breaks his fall. And in the next panel,
I don't know. Lucky is if he fell into the East River, right?
he's polluted and all.
No good.
He doesn't die, but he should have.
Yeah.
Because anything higher than 4 stories is going to cause some serious bodily damage.
Yeah, but he is Spider-Man, so yeah.
I know. I jumped off a 4-story bridge one time. That was some crazy shit.
Did you?
Yeah, I did.
Which bridge?
I'd rather not say.
Okay.
But it was
on
illegal.
Purpose? On purpose, or you?
Yeah, it was to go swimming, not for suicide.
Oh, okay.
But the impact was so intense it split my shorts, turned them into a skirt.
All right.
Yeah, dude, it was crazy.
Alrighty then.
Quig was there.
You won't be doing that again, I'm sure.
I think Quig jumped with me too.
Okay. Did he get split?
And Joey B was there too, but he didn't jump. And this book is from Joey B. Thanks, Joe. Yes. Does it say Joey B on the inside?
No.
No, but it is just from
Joey B gave you the book, but did not jump.
No.
Okay.
The jump was later on when I was 18.
Okay.
Back to Peter Parker.
Back to the Vulture.
Where's my fingers in this crazy camera view? So the sailors pull Peter Parker out of the water, right? He warms up, gets a few cups of coffee, right? He's got to get back to work and follow this case. So he goes back to Mary Jane, and she's like, "You're right, I do need to go to the police about this murder I witnessed." But he's like, "You're not going alone, I'm taking you to the cops." And that's this panel down here. The last panel. Over there. Where he grabs her by the wrist. We move past the Swamp Thing ads and Kazar.
Mm-hmm.
Gets in the car. Now here's where it gets weird. Now we get to the roommate of the victim that was murdered. And here comes the Vulture. Right? Because he's got to kill this woman. She's an eyewitness. And her name is... What's that cabbie call her?
Mr. Freisberg? No.
Is that in here? He fucking says her name.
Don't know.
It's a weird name. I thought he fucking said her name.
Well, he says Mr. Freisberg, but I don't know who that is. Look, that's a cabbie driver, I think. I don't know.
Alright, so look the bag out of the cat.
Bag out of the cat? Cat out of the
Yes.
bag? Yes.
The
Okay.
bag out of the cat.
Yeah, okay.
So the Vulture shows up. I thought he said her name. I thought it was Grinsberg. So the Vulture shows up. Obviously wants to take out his eyewitness. Spider-Man's there. Trying to foil the plans. Here you go. Right there.
Let's see.
Did it say her name? It's not Mary Jane. What's weird is it flips from Mary Jane to this chick, the roommate of the victim that was murdered, and the victim.
They keep
And the
saying
roommate-
it's Mr. Freisberg, but I don't know who that is.
All right. So this panel's interesting right here because he shows up to the roommate, and she's a lab assistant
Uh-huh.
to Dr. Shallot. And it's Dr. Shallot who is the one posing as the Vulture.
Oh, yeah, it says, I want you and Dr. Shallot. Yeah, he says right here. Then you have found me, dolt. I promise you it will cost your life. Okay, so he's posing as
The
Adrian
Vulture.
Toomes. Yeah, okay.
Which is why Spider-Man is confused as all hell in the beginning of the book as to how the hell the Vulture is out and about after he just put him in behind bars in the previous issue.
Complex web we weave here, web
So this
slinger.
is more of a Peter Parker detective story.
Yeah, big time, right?
Spider-Man. So
Things are not as they seem.
Dr. Shallot and the lab assistant, who knows that Dr. Shallot is posing as the Vulture,
Oh, so
and she
they're
knows that
in
her roommate was
cahoots.
killed by Dr. Shallot, and Peter Parker shows up and is squeezing this info out of her, and of course, in comic book fashion, the Vulture shows up, the imposter, the second Vulture.
Slugfest ensues.
Yes. So, obviously he wants to kill this lab assistant because she knows everything. And Spider-Man dukes it out with the Vulture, but he figures everything out along the way.
That's quite the schnoz there, huh?
And apparently, this guy went through some kind of transformation machine to get the Vulture's powers.
Sounds
And
like
of
a
course, when he
Jekyll
went-
and Hyde type of thing, right?
And when he went through the machine, which is over here, the wings actually became part of his body. So he actually had more superpowers than the actual real Vulture.
Wow.
But,
Not enough to beat Spider-Man.
no. But Spider-Man figures it out and has this antidote that he throws in the guy's mouth. And as the guy's like, I can see this camera was messing me up.
Yep. Clifton Shallot. Back to being Clifton Shallot once again.
Right? Clifton Shallot, right? Morphs back. Kind of like a Bruce Banner Hulk thing. He goes back to the Vulture to meet Dr. Shallot. Right? And here we have the transformation machine flashback part. So Peter Parker figures it out. Of course, he's got to have his camera to snap pics.
Oh,
For
yes.
the bugle.
Yep.
I skipped the part earlier.
J.
It was
Jonah
getting
Jameson's
reamed.
got to have his
I skipped
photos.
that part where he was getting reamed out.
Yes, because, you know. they're
So
never
at
good
the
enough.
end, Peter Parker, Spider-Man, is telling the roommate that, hey, I had to lock your ass up too because you're just as guilty for standing by on the sidelines, keeping your mouth shut, knowing that your roommate was murdered, knowing that Dr. Shallot was on a rampage. And she's like, oh,
She's
no,
like, me,
poor
but
me.
how could I stop him? I can't do anything, right?
Poor
yeah,
me.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, you're going to have to live with it, bitch. That's pretty much the gist of this inside the cover of the Amazing
So,
Spider-Man.
a one-issue storyline, right? You don't see
Yeah.
those too often.
One-hit
back then.
wonder.
Yeah.
But yeah, talk about a bait and switch cover. If you're a Vulture fan, you buy this, and then you find out it's a secondary Vulture, which they did this theme with the Green Goblin a couple of times.
Yeah, they did. Yeah.
Let's try it with the Vulture.
And I bet you if we were to really think hard, they probably did this with lots more villains over the course of the years, right?
With Spider-Man or other storylines.
Yeah, where you had someone impersonating.
It's an easy premise to milk, I suppose, but this is a good read.
Well, especially when they kill off these villains or they put them in prison, you know.
And that's what this was.
Yeah.
The original Vulture was put in prison in the previous issue.
Because wasn't there was a replacement Mysterio at some point, if I remember correctly, because and there were all sorts of other villains that were.
I know at least 3 times with the Green Goblin.
Yeah,
Right?
100%.
So, anyway, here's a loose version, little Pictionary version of inside the cover of the Amazing Spider-Man 128.
Classic Ramita cover right here.
One issue before the classic 129, The Punisher.
Yeah, that's right.
But I think this issue is just as enjoyable as 129. So, I know you guys like Spider-Man as much as I do. So, I figured I'd pull this one out of the hat and show it to you guys. I hope you liked it. As always, we thank you for being here for Comic Book Geezers. Please click the like button. And as always, click the notification bell so you can be kept in the loop every time we have a new video. And as always, we thank you for being here, and we thank you for your comments and your support. And as always, come on back for more episodes of Comic Book Geezers if you like comics as much as we do. And we thank you for being here. I'm Wild Bill saying thanks for being here. And thank you for your time. And we'll see you next time on Comic Book Geezers.
And I'm Pete for Wild Bill. Have a good one, everybody. We'll see you real soon. Take care.
Here's the back cover.
Little Evil Knievel, right? There you go.
You gotta have Evil Knievel.
There you go.
All right,
Thanks,
guys.
everybody. See you soon.
We'll see you.
Bye.
Bye.